War, a war that brings chaos, but war itself is not a chaos. It is an art that changes history. Welcome to Art of War by Corpus of Knowledge. Today's subject, Encirclement. In our previous video, we talked about outflanking maneuver. That maneuver was well effective. But there is something better. Why not surround your enemy and kill the last man in the war? Encirclement is to surround the enemy in order to finish them off. There is two systems to do this in frontal battle, meaning both armies are seeing each other and you don't have any opportunity to sneak behind your enemy. Let's talk about them. The first way to do this is simple. Your enemy should be smaller than you, and their army should have wings and center far from each other. Here's the fact. If you want to encircle your enemy in face-to-face battle, then you need to have bigger army. You can finish them off anyway, but encirclement will prevent them from fleeing. But if it is Napoleonic war you're imagining, then it needs more than number. But that's not our subject. Well, if the situation is like that I've described, then it's easy to encircle them. In the screen, you can see enemy center and two wings, meaning 3 columns. First, send units to outflank. Then, send more units in the gaps between their columns. When you do this, the enemy will be in disorder, but because they were facing two sides simultaneously. Then, you will encircle them and finish them off. One may ask, seeing the screen, why did the center go? Well, it's retreated. Now, take a look at this picture and you will see some cavalry units took the initiatives and encircled the center. Well, that was a kind of blitzkrieg and you had the decisive moment. But, what if it is a deep battle? You need to have morale this time, as it will cost your lives of many. Your enemy learned their lessons, did their homeworks, and now they made a long defensive lines and didn't divide it into units. So, now you need the stormtroopers of Hitler and veteran soldiers of Caesar to win this one. First, try to find weak points. Next, make columns to break through. You will need a set of columns this time to strengthen your army. Not only one. And your columns will need reinforcement, so make sure you have soldiers in reserve. Now, you have the formation, march forward. You can use cavalry to make the first strike. Now break through the lines, send reserves to strengthen the assault. If you can, send some units to outflank the enemy. Because of your number, you will break through eventually. And then, use units to encircle them as much as units as you can. Pursue the retreating units using cavalries. You can also do this whole thing by pointing and attacking on one certain point, when other units will attack and create skirmishes to hold as many as enemy as they can. We described the two parts, but it is only the beginning of encirclement. Remember that the second battle we described, you lose men. You will need to send your most experienced units under the best commanders to win this one. There is some more circumstances where you can sneak behind your enemy and use other tricks to encircle the enemy. There, you can defeat bigger armies too. Make sure you are subscribed because we will talk on new systems and tricks to encircle an army, and we will talk about more Art of War.